Okay, let's start on the next activity since we've had 10 to 20 minutes to work on our outlines. You can always pull it out later if there's free time, or you can take it home and finish it up because tomorrow we'll be doing the next steps in our outline, making it more detailed, descriptive, start figuring out what kind of format you want for your resume, what's professional looking, and then how you want to format your cover letter. Your cover letter is a letter, so it really has one format, but like how do you want to line up the details, the borders, if you have borders, we're going to make it look good. Okay, so now we are going to practice interviews. I know you guys are nervous, so there's no need to be nervous. I have interview questions for all of you. I have like a little sheet. I'm going to write them on the board. And then I want you individually to come up with one question while I'm writing it, 1 to 2, that you will add into the interview just so like you don't know every question that's coming at you. I know it's scary, but that's why we're practicing. So as I write these questions I have on the board, I want you to think of questions that you will ask that kind of is different than the questions we went over in the Kahoot. You can don't make them too personal, but just make them like, what prepares you for this job? What qualities make you stand out compared to other candidates? Those kind of things. Just anything that comes to your mind is really good, but just if it matches mine, try to switch it up a little bit. Okay, so we have these questions plus the 2 that you have. So you guys are going to split into groups of 2. I'm going to separate you out based on what careers you're looking for, so you kind of have a background on that. So everyone who just divide into careers. So if you know what career you want and you know someone else, divide, and then whoever doesn't, I'll figure out to pair you. But these are the questions I want you to ask throughout it. You can mix it up in the order. I don't really care what order you do. But add your 2 or 1 question in here. You're going to have about 7 minutes per interview. If you don't take that long, it's fine. But just make sure it's okay to take a second and think about the question. Because you don't want to answer so quickly that you don't actually answer the way you want. But just remember, it is an interview and it is timed right now. So just think as fast as you can, but don't worry about it too if you don't get through all the questions or if you get through them a little faster. I just want, this is practice. Could be your first time. You could also, some of you have jobs, so I know you've been interviewed before, but just let it happen. Let it flow. I know it's like nerve-wracking more when you're actually getting interviewed for a job, but this will help you for that. So just keep going. If you finish quickly, I hope you don't finish too quickly, but if you do, just come up with more questions and just go over it again. But I'm going to have you switch at 7 minutes, and then the other person will get interviewed and be the interviewer. If that makes sense. So you're just going to alternate roles. Okay? So, break off. Okay, and I'll pair you. So you guys are wanting to go into ag? Perfect. What do you want to do? You want to go into marketing and business. Okay, those are in the same realm. So you guys can go together as well. So just go ahead, have a seat, and I'm going to make sure everybody's ready. Give me a thumbs up if your group is ready. Perfect. Okay, I'm starting the timer. Okay. Since we've had our 14 minutes of interviewing, how did you guys do? Nervous? Yeah. Okay. So what can you do to improve, do you think? Like, when you're going to an interview, I think it's important that you look over the company, because you should want to be hired by a company you want to work for. So if you don't know anything about that company, what does that say when you go into interview and they say, why do you think you're right for this job? Or what area of our company do you want to work for? Or what team working skills would be best in this situation, and you have no idea what they're talking about. So make sure that you look over their company, what positions they're hiring, because there could be more than just one position that you are interested in. And it's a great opportunity to say, oh, I really like the way your company's run in these positions. So make sure you look over the company. Then also just start thinking about what it would be like to work for that company. What skills, knowledge, qualities you need to fit into that company, that position, and not fit in. I mean, of course, you don't have to just be like this perfect mold that goes straight into that company, but what areas will you want to be improved and have to work to be right there, and like you don't quite fully know it, but you understand and you have the skills to get there. What qualities do you have and knowledge do you have that you're already prepared for in that company? Because you want to talk about that with the interviewer. And then, how do you stay relaxed? I know it's nerve-wracking, but just take a breath and know that whatever happens in this interview, I just want to come out feeling good about who I am. So, just not every interview is going to go great, but that's the point of why we're practicing, because the more you practice, the better you get, and you're not going to have every job you apply for, maybe. And maybe you do. Whatever happens, just know that you worked hard, because you put in the time of researching the company. You put in the time of figuring out what qualities and skills and knowledge go well with this company. You maybe did extra research, extra studying. Whatever it is, you put in the time for. So just remember, like, if I put in this time, the likelihood of getting the job, getting whatever I want, is more likely. Okay. So I want you guys now to write where you can improve on this task. So I want you to write where you need to see improvement and where you think you did well in the interview. And you can talk it over with your partner too. I don't want you to think, oh, I think I did this well, but I don't really know. Or being too hard on yourself, saying I did nothing well, when clearly your partner thinks you did well on this and actually wants to do better on that. And you guys work with each other to make those skills get developed and happen. So I want you to discuss it with your partner. I want you to figure out ways and where you need to improve, and then what you did well in the assignment. So in the interview, I guess it's not an assignment, but where you did well in the interview. I was really good at welcoming myself, giving a handshake to the interviewer, talking about the qualities I possess that put me in a better position for this job. I was not really good about talking about the company's actual goal, motto, what they are for, because I need to do more research on the company. So just like think about it, talk it over with your partner, and discuss, and then work on just writing a list and then writing another list. You got 5 minutes for that. Sorry. Okay, so tomorrow when you come back to class, I want an outline of your cover letter, your resume, and I want improvements and goals, SMART goals, okay, for how you're going to make those improvements for the interviews, okay, because we're going to keep practicing them, and then eventually I am going to be your maybe future employer, your interviewer. And we're going to go one-on-one and practice interviews because I want you guys to feel confident and comfortable in an interview setting. So, resume outline, cover letter outline, and interview improvements that you want to complete and goals on how you can complete them. Some of the goals might be more complex and some of them might be simpler because it was like, oh, I just need to do a little more of like, I want a firmer handshake. So you go through and practice it. Or I think I need a little more time on researching the company. Of course, you guys haven't had companies determined right here, but if you're going to go into an interview, you need to know the company. You don't want to be hired by a company you don't actually want to work for. So make sure you know that company well. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow.